Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a long time since I told you guys I was going to give you the footage of the Insta360 X3 that me and my wife were taking on our cruise with us. We had just bought it right before the cruise, and it's been about 3 months. I know I got busy. The video's been edited for probably 2 months, but I got busy with school. I'm trying to finish up my degree. So I finally am making the time to post this for you guys. All we had was the selfie stick that came with the kit. And if you want to check out the video of the unboxing, the kit that I got with it, I'll link that below. But yeah, let's dive into the footage. This is all footage that is just straight out of camera, auto. All of it is in the 360 mode at 5.7K, I believe. Yeah, so this is an average user's footage that you're going to get out of this camera and what it's going to look like. I will say you really do want to get some extra accessories to get the most out of this camera. We went on ATVs and it was great, but I had to hold the selfie stick while I was riding behind Rose, and she had to hold it while she was riding behind me. So, you know, getting a mount, things like that, they're just going to enhance this camera. But let's jump right into the footage.
Does anyone want to go inside?
Yes.
Yeah. You are totally crazy. Do you see what is happening down there? So these are the waves from the sea currents from the south wind. And now it is impossible to go inside because even inside the waves are working like this. So the boat is going up and down and breaking on the stones inside. Because the cave is not a big space, you have the first the tunnel, which is like 1.5 meters wide, and then it is impossible to stay inside with these waves. Because of that we are closed. And everything that you can see, even this center.
As you guys could see in the previous clip, that was the audio straight out of the camera. And it's not bad. You can kind of hear what they're saying, but you can hear all the background noise. If you're getting this camera, I would not recommend just expecting the audio to be good straight out of the camera. You got to remember you're using the selfie stick most of the time. So the camera's pretty far away from you and it picks up a lot of background noise and wind noise. So definitely something to think about if you wanted a vlog or anything with this camera. And as you guys can see in this clip, we're just walking through the streets of Komiza, Croatia. And you know, I just am recording this normally. I did find out later that there is a way in the app to change it to where it doesn't look warped, you know, like you're recording 360 video. But like I said, this was when we just got the camera. This is footage straight out of the camera. Let me know what you guys think. Here's a little time lapse I did when we were walking back to our boat. And then now here we are in Dubrovnik, Croatia, which is where Game of Thrones was filmed. So I did a little time lapse. You know, it was nice because you can record normally in the 360 mode and then create the time lapse later. Where I know some devices, you just have to choose, oh yeah, I'm recording a time lapse right now. So that was a nice feature that I found right away with this camera. But yeah, so as you guys can see, we're just checking out these sites, walking around with the camera. But like I said, if you wanted to vlog, you probably want to get a wireless mic to go with this camera. They have setups for that to work now. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the footage so far. Do you like the Insta360 X3? Is there something you don't like about it? But yeah, I found editing this footage in the app on my iPhone, it wasn't too bad. You know, you gotta fidget around with it, mess around with the settings, things like that. And at first I had no idea what I was doing while I was editing in the app. But after looking up a few YouTube tutorials, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Obviously, these edits aren't gonna be the best because like I said, it's my first time editing on this camera and in that app. But yeah, I think the footage came out pretty good, you know, for what I didn't know how I was gonna be using the camera at all. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like these locations that I took this camera? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're liking this footage, Um, let me know, leave a like, leave a comment. I know the unboxing of the Insta360 X3 did very well, had 1.4K views on it so far, and I only have like 11 subscribers right now. So I appreciate everyone that watched that video. And if you're watching this one, this is what the average footage is gonna look like. We see these crazy edits that these people, these pro videographers and stuff do. This is what the footage is gonna look like for you, most likely, if you're brand new to using cameras and making videos and things like that. Unless you get really into it, this is probably what your footage will look like. And let me know if that's good enough for you. Here we are on the Dubrovnik city walls. One of the highlights of this trip. We were on a Virgin Voyages cruise through the Mediterranean, and Dubrovnik was one of our favorite places where Game of Thrones was filmed for the most part, and the walk along the city walls was great. As you guys could see in this clip, I did some time lapse to normal, kind of changed it up a little bit with this video, but let me know what you guys think.
Oh, you're going there?
One thing I will say is, as you can see in this shot, you do get some really cool shots with this camera. It can be awkward walking around with this camera though, to be honest. You have it on this long selfie stick and it's this weird looking camera. People are gonna look at you weird, but it is what it is. If you're vlogging anyways, you either have the confidence to do it or you're gonna deal with it and deal with the people looking at you weird. But as you can see now, we head to Kotor, Montenegro, and it was beautiful. probably one of my favorite places I've been in the world. And I believe I've been to 15 countries now. But Montenegro, when we were on the boat pulling in to the port, just mountains surrounding you on every side. It was beautiful, serene, just an amazing experience. As you can see in this clip, it gets a little grainy when you try to zoom in on this camera. So if you plan on using this camera to do a lot of zooming, it's probably not going to be worth it for you. But just look at the views you're able to take in with this camera. 360 degrees, you can see all around. Here we are in the mountains of Kotor, and it was a beautiful drive up. We were on a bus for about an hour, going all the way up the mountain on the sketchiest road I've ever been on in my life, and I almost peed my pants. It was a rough ride, I'll say that, but once we got up into the mountains, got on the ATVs, it was beautiful and so fun. As you guys could see though, we just got this camera right before the trip, so we didn't have any mounts or anything. And even finding the mounts in Germany isn't easy. So we didn't have any. Rose was holding the camera while I was driving. And then when she was driving, I was holding the camera. And, you know, the footage still came out great, to be honest. It's not shaky at all, and the terrain was very, very rough. So, you know, the stabilization in the camera is awesome, because as you can see here, you're not seeing many shakes at all, and our hands were bouncing with the selfie stick. It was rough trying to hold on. Having a mount would be amazing for this type of thing, so I highly, highly recommend getting a mount. If you're planning on doing any off-roading, dirt bike, motorcycle, any type of that stuff, buy a mount. 100% will be worth it. But, you know, in this case scenario, if you have to hold it, look at how the footage came out. Still looks pretty good. As you can see on the lens, you see some spots. It was raining our whole time driving through these mountains, so there's some rain spots on the camera lens, and we just had to deal with it because can't clean it off if it's continuously raining. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this clip on the ATVs. How do you think the stabilization is? You can see it's a little bumpy, nothing too terrible though, considering it's being handheld in these moments. And I kept switching, you know, arm angles and positions, because like I said, I didn't know what the best would be at this point, you know, to get good footage using this camera. So that's kind of why you see a lot of motion in these clips. But let me know your thoughts on that. Do you guys think you would buy this camera after watching this footage? I know you can do so many awesome things with this camera, and on this trip, you know, we were just testing it out, seeing what we could do, what we could figure out to do with this camera. But after going on this trip and reviewing this footage, I will say it kind of helped me to realize, you know, there's a lot of cool things you can do, and it gives you some inspiration for your next trip on what you can use this camera for. But let me know what your favorite clips are in this video. You know, let me know if you think the price tag is worth it. We paid, I think it was around 500 euros for this camera. You'll have to go look at the other video of the unboxing I did. But overall, I think it's a fun little camera. Obviously has its limitations, but if you get a wireless mic to go with it, I think this is a camera you could use for pretty much most scenarios. You obviously got to keep the lenses protected because they are just exposed and can get damaged really easily. But other than that, I think it's a really versatile camera. As you can see here, we're at the Pantheon Stadium in Greece. This was our final port of our cruise that we went on. Highly recommend Virgin Voyages cruises. They're amazing. I could do a video on those if you guys want. Let me know. But our port destination was in Athens, and this is when we finished our cruise. We went the day before we were flying out and explored Athens. Amazing, amazing place. Highly recommend going there. But
You know,
let
I
me know
wanted
what
to
your
stop
guys'
you.
thoughts are of the locations we went to on the cruise, as you've seen in the video. Some amazing locations. And let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this camera. That about wraps up this video. I thank you guys for tuning in. Please leave a like and subscribe. I'm just starting up this channel. I appreciate all the views on the unboxing, and I'll see you guys next time.